Coming up on Live at 5, assurances are being made by royalty regarding oil shortages.
And the FBI is warning law enforcement about possible terrorist attacks. Stay with us. Live at 5 is on TV 16's Live at 5. I'm Kayanne Jones.
And I'm Latoya Riley. A member of the Saudi royal family is assuring Americans there will be no oil shortages. This came after Saudi Arabia led the charge to cut OPEC oil production. The Saudi ambassador to the U.S., Prince bin Sultan, says he delivered the assurances to President Bush in a message from Crown Prince Abdullah.
What specifically we will do, you will see in the next few days and weeks. But we are monitoring the market, and what is important for the audience to understand is that our policy is to keep it between $22 to $28, and we will not allow shortage of the market, of oil in the market, to increase the prices.
The ambassador also says President Bush and Crown Prince Abdullah have been in contact about oil prices. This directly contradicts a statement from the Saudi foreign minister earlier Thursday.
The federal government is warning of the possibility of terrorist attacks on commercial transportation this summer. A spokesperson for FBI says he believes buses and railroads could be the next target for terrorists. The warning has been sent to all federal, state, and local agencies in an effort to prevent the possible attacks from occurring. The Department of Homeland Security provided a list to all agencies detailing security measures and passenger screenings for the summer vacation season. The warning came on the same day as investigators in Spain found an explosive device hidden under the railroad lines around Madrid. This bomb contained the same explosives used in the Madrid bombing last month.
Positive news today for job growth and the U.S. economy. March economic reports show the non-farming sector gaining more than 3,000 new jobs. The numbers are showing the highest job growth in 4 years.
All these numbers are preliminary, and during the month they're firmed up with further revisions. And as I've mentioned, the numbers have been revised every month. But I think these numbers, these revisions, show the tremendous dynamism of our economy and how difficult it is to get an actual handle on what's happening.
The strong numbers should ease the political pressure on the Bush administration and is also raising speculation that the Federal Reserve is closer than ever to raising the target for the federal funds rate, which should improve the economy.
The search for the suspect allegedly involved in the abduction of a Wisconsin college student is being called off. Madison County Police called off the search after finding inconsistencies in the story told by 20-year-old Audrey Sealer, who was missing for 4 days. Sealer was found Wednesday afternoon only 2 miles northeast of campus. Madison police officials are saying they believe she made the whole thing up, staging the abduction with supplies she bought herself at a local store. Wisconsin police are debating whether or not to charge Sealer with a misdemeanor for reporting a false abduction. If charged, Sealer would have to pay a fine and spend up to one year in jail.
Next on Live at 5, the presidential nominees continue on the campaign trail. But first we're going to talk to Andrew and see what's going on in our beautiful weather. We've had some great weather, and we want to talk to Andrew and see what else is in store for us.
Well, we do have a beautiful weekend coming up, Latoya, and it's going to be really nice. And I've got the forecast coming up for you. And also, we'll take a look at some thunderstorms that are in Texas that are they moving this way? I'll let you know coming up during the weather segment.
Someday, I'll be a ballerina, just like them. And this will be my stage, where I twirl and float and swirl for all the people looking at me. Someday, this won't just be my wish. Someday, I won't be sick.
Is.
Okay. Senator John Kerry breaks a fundraising record for the Democratic Party. Kerry has racked up $64 million since the beginning of the primary season. That's more than double the previous record. Even though the Kerry campaign is raising record amounts, they still fall short of the Bush campaign, which has raised $170 million to date. And speaking of the presidential campaigns, President Bush is releasing the newest campaign ad tomorrow. The advertisement attacks presidential hopeful John Kerry's tax voting record. The ad says the senator has repeatedly opposed tax relief for married couples and supports tax hikes. Kerry's latest ad focuses on jobs. It talks about how George W. Bush says moving jobs to the low-cost countries is a plus for the U.S. It also says Kerry has an economic plan to keep jobs in the U.S. and create 10 million jobs.
Gateway is expected to close its doors soon. PC maker Gateway said yesterday that it plans to close all 188 of its retail stores and lay off over 2,000 of its workers. Spokesman Brad Williams said of the company that they are looking for any way to reduce operating costs. Gateway was the only major PC maker to run its own stores. Gartner Group analyst Martin Reynolds says Gateway's overhead PCs were often twice as high as rival Dell's. Gateway announced earlier this year that they plan to acquire eMachines. eMachines sells mostly through third-party retail stores, which makes it cheaper than running its own. Gateway has not yet announced if they will be selling alongside eMachines. Analysts who cover the industry expect that to happen soon.
A judge declared a mistrial today in the trial of two former Tyco International executives. The two men were accused of taking $600 million from the company. The judge declared the mistrial, saying there was an intense outside pressure on one of the jurors. The juror, a woman who nearly brought the case to a mistrial last week, is reported to have received threatening letters within the past 24 hours. The district attorney's office issued a statement calling the mistrial unfortunate and said it would seek a retrial of the two men who could face up to 30 years in prison.
President Bush is making plans to visit Arkansas next week. White House officials are saying the president will visit El Dorado and take part in an event associated with job training. Although an official schedule has not been released, the president is expected to speak at a discussion with business owners around the city. The visit is listed as an official presidential visit and is not being treated as a campaign visit.
A mystery has been solved for Tyson Foods as officials discovered why thousands of chickens being raised for food have died. The birds were being raised for food near Waldred, about 40 miles southeast of Fort Smith. Officials say the deaths were likely related to ammonia levels in the chicken houses. Tyson spokesman Ed Nicholson says that new birds are now living in the houses where the deaths occurred. Early information suggests the mortality spike is now over. Springdale-based Tyson is the world's largest meat-producing company. Stocks rose today after investors received information about the rapidly growing job market. In late afternoon trading, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 54 points, while the technology-based NASDAQ gained 30 points.
Because you believed in me, I can believe in you.
I can believe in me.
Because you pushed me to be better.
Because you pushed me to be better. I learned to push myself.
Because you showed me respect.
Respect.
I respect others.
I respect myself.
Because you showed me a place.
I can use everything you taught me.
I found my place.
I have found my place.
This is my place.
For all the young men and women in the United States Air Force, there was one person who showed them the possibilities and opened the door to the teachers, counselors, ministers, and moms and dads who helped a young man or young woman discover that the greatest force of all is inside of themselves. We thank you. And more importantly,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
they thank you.
A very nice weekend coming up, and we'll have a look at the forecast here in just a second. Let's take a look at the almanac. 68 degrees was our high today, and we are right at normal. Finally, for this time of year, we're right at normal for our high. 37 was the low this morning. That's 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. 84 degrees back in 1967, was the record high, and 33 back in 54 was the record low. Now here's the water vapor map. Now right here in Arkansas, the dark black color is dry air. So we have dry air coming in from the northwest, and that's giving us the sunny skies and just pleasant weather outside. And this low pressure system is very slowly moving off to the northeast. That's what brought us the rain a few days ago, and that still has not left the area. So that'll be moving off hopefully sometime soon. Down in southern Texas, there is some severe weather. There's a severe thunderstorm watch down in southern Texas right now, bringing some very heavy rain just south of our brothers and sisters in Abilene. Just south of them, they are having some torrential rainfall right now. We'll see in just a second whether that will be moving our direction. Current service map shows us three things. One is this low pressure system in Arizona, and that is it's moving very, very slowly, just like this one in the northeast. Secondly, the severe weather in Texas, and thirdly, the low pressure system in the northeast. Now, coming up, this will be moving our direction, but that won't be here for quite a while, and it'll be weakening before it gets here. Currently now in Searcy, we have 69 degrees, 37 degrees the dew point, 30% humidity, and variable winds at 5 miles per hour. 30.01 is the pressure and falling right now. Satellite picture is clear in Arkansas. We do have these clouds down in Texas right now that underneath those are the rain and the thunderstorms. But right now in Arkansas, just clear. And here, and zooming in a little bit, northeast Little Rock, just some very high cirrus clouds. Nothing that'll drop any rain for us. Just very nice weather outside. Highs around the area, 61 in Nashville, in the 70s, and near 80 in Louisiana and Texas at this time. And underneath the rain, they have 60 degrees and 66 degrees there in northern Texas. So underneath the rain, it's a bit cooler. Here around our area, behind a clear radar, we have 65 degrees in Jonesboro and also in Memphis, and 69 in Little Rock, 71 in Hot Springs, 67 in Fayetteville, and 72 in Fort Smith. Now tonight we have 41 the low, mostly clear skies, and I want to bring you the temperatures for the movie tonight on the front lawn. 8 o'clock tonight will be about 54 degrees, and by the end of the movie, around 10 o'clock, there will be about 50 degrees outside, so you may want to bring a little blanket or something just to knock the chill off of you this evening. The sun will be going down at 6:29, and the north-northeast winds at 7 miles per hour. Now tomorrow, 7 to 10 miles per hour, the northerly winds, mostly sunny skies outside. You need to get outside for the weekend. Be a great day, just like today, 68 degrees the high. Now the 5-day forecast. Saturday, dry. Be sure to turn your clocks back Saturday night. 68 degrees tomorrow, and Sunday, a little bit of a cool down after that front comes through at 61 degrees. Next chance of rain looks to be about a 30% chance on Tuesday night, and Wednesday morning, a chance of thunderstorms, 68 degrees both of those days. We'll be right back, and KN and Latoya will have more news.
Sir?
Found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
Sit here. The Searcy Airport is under reconstruction. State officials gave a $250,000 check yesterday to help complete the airport expansion project. Improvements such as extending the runway from 5,000 feet to 6,000 feet and installing an instrument landing system have been made. 20 acres of new land will be purchased to relocate the taxiway. Pilots can now take off with a full tank of fuel because of the longer runway. The expansion also allows corporate and business jets to land in Searcy. The Federal Aviation Administration funded 90% of the project, while the state funded 10%. The Searcy Airport is one of the top 20 airports in Arkansas receiving state funds.
Searcy residents will be glad to know they don't have to wait weeks or months to see the doctor. The White County Health Department has come up with a new appointment system. Beginning at 7 in the morning, appointments will be given for that day or the next. However, it is not a walk-in clinic. An appointment should be made to limit the waiting time. For more information, contact the White County Health Department.
Several Chinese educators took part in a symposium on moral education for college students this afternoon at Harding University. The 4 representatives from China have been on campus for the past week to observe American-style education. TV16 was there as Harding students talked about their lives on campus and how they deal with issues affecting college students.
I thought the most interesting thing was when they asked what we do when we are depressed, and a couple of students answered, like playing your guitar, running, but one student was able to share our faith in that, we are able to pray. We are able to pray to God and ask Him to help us, and we are able to share our struggles with each other. And their perspective was, as an institution, what do you do? Like, do you have a counseling center, or do you have professionals? But we were able to share on a personal level, not just on an institutional level, what we do when we are depressed or when we're really down.
But now there is a spirit of openness in China that's new, so they are on the cutting edge of learning what's going on out there in the rest of the world. My impression is that that's their agenda.
Some Harding students feel the male dorms on campus are being neglected. TV16's Andy Robinson has more.
Summer of 2004 brings along some heavy restoration to Kendall Hall. But what about the male side of campus? Some residents of Armstrong Hall feel their dorm has more of an urgent need for repair.
The building itself is in a, I like to call it a state of disrepair.
Ants all in my room for like the last week. I had to go down to Miss Lemon's and get ant spray. It's pretty old. The tiles in a lot of rooms are torn up. A lot of kids in my hall have problems with water coming in and leaking.
And what happens is, a lot of time when it rains, water will come down instead of going in the gutter and come through our window down in this whole corner section.
I really like the furniture, actually. It's quite sturdy, and generally it's got weight to it, which is nice. And it's movable, which is great, because a lot of the dorms you can't actually move the furniture.
What I have heard is their problem is more the structure itself, the walls.
The whole place is pretty much old. It's really old and it needs to be probably renovated.
The girls have mixed feelings on which dorm should be taken care of first. According to the Director of Physical Resources, Danny DeRamus, Kendall has more of a dire need to be fixed structurally than the rest of the dorms.
I would definitely have to say Armstrong. Well, I have never been in Kendall, so I guess I would say Armstrong.
Kendall, by far.
I would probably say Kendall first, because Armstrong, most of the things they have problems with are because of the people that live there. Not necessarily because of the way the building is built.
But the guys shouldn't feel left out. Grad is up for an overhaul next summer, and Armstrong is getting new carpet along with some other small renovations due within the next year. It's obvious that some of Harding's men's and women's older dorms need some fixing, but as far as order of fixing is concerned, maybe a little chivalry is in order. This is Andy Robinson for TV16 News.
A contemporary Christian band will be in Searcy tonight. The Christian group FFH, standing for Far From Home, kicked off their Ready to Fly tour in Nashville this past month, and their next stop is the Searcy Event Center at Industrial Park. There will be a fish fry before the concert at 5:30. FFH will go on stage at 7, and tickets are $10. Also tonight, the Harding University Student Association is showing the movie Princess Bride on the front lawn. The showing is free and will start at 8 o'clock.
Well, sports is coming up next, so stay tuned. Or we'll talk about it a little bit.
Let's talk about it right now, actually.
Okay.
I'm a little impatient about this.
I understand.
So we have the big games coming up this weekend.
Yes, we do.
And I know that LaToya is for Duke.
Go Devils.
Tan, what are you for?
I am still going to back up UConn.
Really?
Still going for UConn.
Going for UConn.
Yes, I am.
We'll see. The best
They're
team
gonna
will
beat
definitely
Duke.
win.
Well,
Duke's
I'll
will
be the
definitely win.
tiebreaker because I already know who's going to win.
I do.
I do.
You would know him.
I sure do. Well, this is the big weekend. The Final Four games are going on, and lucky for you, I'm going to share my theory about the games with you. This is intense, I know. Just try to calm down and relax, and I'll be back with more.
Noise. There's more of it in your life than you think. Every day sounds from household appliances to traffic. Even a crowded restaurant can hit 85 decibels. That's the level audiologists know can cause permanent hearing loss. So keep an eye on your ears and visit ASHA.org, the American Speech Language Hearing Association.
Check it out, man.
What is that?
It looks like someone's belly. Yeah, probably lost it walking on the beach.
Man, just leave it. Let's go.
The University of Arkansas is raising ticket prices for the upcoming football season. This is the first price increase since 1999. The price of tickets will go up more than $5 for regular seating and will remain more than $100 for premium seats. The university's athletic director says that price increase is due to the lack of revenue by Arkansas compared to other schools in their conference. The university ranks 9th in both revenue and for football and donations to their athletic foundation. And another one makes the cut. Harding's head football coach Randy Tribble announced the signing of Mike Gobb of California to an NCAA letter of intent. Gobb, 5'10", 210 pounds, played linebacker at American River Community College in Sacramento. In 7 games, he recorded 88 tackles, 5 sacks, and 5 forced fumbles. He earned all-conference honors twice and was named the team's most valuable player as senior. We'll be glad when he gets here in the fall. The Arkansas Twisters are turning their upcoming season around. Now they've got Harding's own Jemai Holden. He debuts for the Twisters tomorrow at 7:05 on the dot p.m. at the Alltel Arena. Holden is a 28-year-old electronic media major who attends Harding University. He plays a variety of positions such as running back, linebacker, defensive end, and tight end. The Twisters have only existed about 5 years and are the only professional team in Arkansas. So good luck, Jemai, tomorrow. You want a piece of our track team? Well, bring it on. The Bison track team is on a roll. Janet Kogo and Jacob Rodich both won their 5,000-meter races on Thursday at the prestigious Clyde Littlefield Texas Relays. Kogo's time was the fastest in the NCAA Division II this year by more than 10 seconds. This makes her 3rd career 5,000-meter win and the 6th outdoor win of her career. Rodich won the 5,000 meters with a 14:28.02, a provisional mark for nationals. It was the 2nd fastest NCAA Division II time this season. And senior Ryan Bond ran a personal best in an NCAA II provincial time of 53:26 in the 400-meter hurdles. He'll run in the finals tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. Tonight, freshmen Peter Koske, Vicky Echeverria, and Scott Waiteka run in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. The track team has definitely come through for us again and are having an incredible season. The time has finally come. You can't get any higher than this. Tomorrow night, you've got Georgia Tech and Oklahoma State at 6:07 p.m. And then you have Duke and UConn at 8:47 p.m. Let the games begin. The action starts tomorrow night at 6:07 on the dot. Let's take a look at the bracket, and I'll share with you my theory. Right, so let's look at this. We've got Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech, this is exciting. They're 27-9, and they've got Jared Jack. He has 29 points in the Kansas game. He had 6 assists, 4 steals, 9 rebounds, and 1 block. This is a tremendous player, and he will be playing in the game. We have B.J. Elder, who had an ankle sprain. He usually has 15.8 points per game. He was unable to play in the second half of the victory over Nebraska, and he only played 12 minutes in the Kansas game. So hopefully he'll be recovered enough to be able to play in the Georgia game this weekend. Now Oklahoma State is also playing, and they defeated St. Joe's 64-62. They have junior forward Joey Graham, who he passed the ball in the St. Joe's game, getting a three-pointer shot, which was pretty much the winner of the game. And then he also has a twin brother, Steven, who also plays. Starter John Lucas gets about 15.2 points per game, 4.6 assists per game, and he is an 89.5% free throw shooter. And he shoots nearly 40% from the three-point range. So we're doing good right here. We're doing good. Now we've got Duke. And I just want to give a shout out to old Steve-O in the newsroom because he definitely thinks Duke's going to win with me. And this is their 10th trip to the Final Four in the last 19 years. Now we have starter Chris Duhon, which I think is a tremendous player. He became a starter in his freshman year and participated in 123 career victories. We also have J.J. Redick. He hit better than 95% of his free throw shots, and he is also the leading scorer with 16 points per game. And then we got Sheldon Williams, who set the school record single season for blocked shots. So Duke is definitely on a roll. And then UConn, Final Four champs of 1999, and they put away their opponents by averaging 18.5 points per game. They've got Ben Gordon, and he is named the most outstanding player of the Phoenix Regional, and he can score from anywhere on the floor, basically. So watch out. These games are going to be impressive. And once again, I really think Duke is going to win. Oh yes, Duke is definitely going to win. So y'all make sure y'all watch tomorrow night, and let's see you back to the news desk.
Thank you, Kim. Well, signs of springtime can be seen in full bloom, and we'll tell you more about this after the break.
For the billions who suffer from poverty, there is a cure. A cure that doesn't just treat the symptoms, but stops poverty before it spreads. CARE is proven effective in fighting poverty, combining experience, innovation, and other powerful ingredients. CARE brings permanent relief to one community after another. No harmful side effects, only a better, more stable world for all. CARE, where the end of poverty begins.
It starts with one person with a desire to serve. They join with others across the nation, citizen soldiers on a mission to protect and defend country and community. Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year to become part of something greater than themselves. Can you see yourself in this picture? Call 1-800-GO-GUARD or visit www.1800goguard.com. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Washington, D.C. is the place to be this weekend. The 92nd annual Washington Cherry Blossom Festival is now underway, and the colors are bringing a spring feeling to the nation's capital. Bill Prasad joins us from Washington with more on this big event.
Each spring in an explosion of life and color that frames the tidal basin in clusters of pink and white. It marks the beginning of spring in one of the most landscaped cities in the Western world, attracting several 100,000 visitors a year.
I like their whiteness and that they're so pretty.
In 1912, this gift from Japan symbolized friendship, but the fragrant canopy got off to a less than spectacular start.
The first 3,000 trees they sent over were actually diseased. They had to be burned.
Healthy trees replaced the sick. Now a team of about 10 workers care for the national treasures all year. Exactly when the buds will open each spring is almost as hard to predict as a Senate race. Robert DeFeo is more than a budding prognosticator. Since 1991, he's been forecasting bloom periods.
The care of the trees, we entrust that to the tree workers, and they do an excellent job.
It's one of this country's most cherished rites of spring, joining 2 countries and a season with history.
The trees will be in bloom for about 5 more days. The average lifespan of these trees is approximately 60 years, so they're always replanting new ones, trying to keep a beautiful legacy alive. In Washington, I'm Bill Prasad.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Be sure to join us next week.
From all of us at TV 16 News, have a fun and safe weekend. Good night.
Good night.